How was it when you first shared stage with metal gods like Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath?
I was great. I mean, it was sort of one of those dream come true scenarios. You know what I mean? Those are huge bands for me as a kid. Growing up, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slayer. All those bands are huge influences and sort of the reason why I got into playing music in the first place. So to share the stage with them and to, become friends with some of them is it's great. And you get to see them play, music for free.
Yeah.
It's a big part of it. Yeah. Like we've seen Slayer probably 300. We were talking about last night. I've seen Slayer play almost probably 300 times at this point.
Really? Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, we've done we've done a lot of shows with Slayer over the years. So been a lot with Metallica as well, and Iron Maiden. Yeah.
When you hear the song Colony of Birdmen, does it first remind you of a Grammy nomination or what happened at the VMAs?
It doesn't remind me of any of that. It's just a song that we play. One of our songs. I just go into it and I try to play it as I never sit and listen to it, if that's what you're asking, but when I'm playing it, I'm just trying to play it as best that I can,
Okay.
But it doesn't trigger any memories of anything bad or good for that matter. It's just I'm watching the crowd reaction and trying to make sure I play the song properly.
How was it working with one of the most successful rock producers, Brann O'Brien?
Brendan O'Brien, it was great. He's a wonderful person to be around, and he makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel at ease, and gets great performances out of us, and it was fun. He's a good storyteller too. He's got a lot of good stories. Mm-hmm.
How's your friendship with Josh Homme? Do you still jam together from time to time?
No, we don't. I mean, I see Josh when we're in LA and stuff, and great person. One of my favorite people. Very funny person. Like hanging out with him. But we don't get time to really jam with anybody, to be honest. We're doing Mastodon so much that when I get home, we're home for like 5 or 6 days at a time, so there's no room to really jam with anybody else but, the guys in Mastodon.
Crack the Sky deals a lot with wormholes, time travel, and the spiritual world in general. Where did you get your inspiration and information from?
The internet. No.
I know. I thought the same when I read that.
Yeah. Well, I went to Russia for vacation. That's how the Russian theme came into play, just because I was going to the Hermitage and the Yusupov Palace and with the whole Rasputin thing. Read a book over there called The Rasputin File. And the wormholes and all that astral travel thing sort of was spawned from my grandmother was really into that stuff. And when I was a kid, she's really into like she used to go to this sort of psychic community in upstate New York called Lilydale. Okay. And there's a lot of like mysticism that surrounds that area. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was pretty fascinating stuff when I was growing up, and she would tell me about her travels outside of her body, and so and crystal skulls and all this stuff. So it's always been in the back of my head, always think about it, and it's she reads people's runes and reads tarot cards and things like that. So it's
kind of medium or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always been a subject that's fascinated me just because of her, and then so I feel like it makes for interesting heavy metal fodder.
What's a dancing chicken?
What's that?
Dancing chicken?
What's dancing chicken? You mean the food? Like beer? They're beer can chickens. Yeah. You stuff a can of beer up inside of a chicken's cavity, and then you put it on the grill.
You put a
can of beer, yeah. Open
inside
it.
The chicken.
Open it and put the can of beer up inside of it, and then set it on the grill and close the lid.
Okay.
And then the beer boils and it cooks into the chicken and makes it really juicy.
Is that your invention?
No, absolutely not.
We want to have it in Austria. Sounds great for our barbecue season.
Do it. Do it. Use a nice dark beer, or whatever you want. Hey, this is Brann from MASTODON, and you're watching MULATSCHAG, apparently the only TV show that you really need.
MULATSCHAG!